Hello guys, what's up? I'll go by name is Coach Prince, and if you are new to my channel, welcome. So today I'm reacting to AQ and Kabex, and this one is titled Lost in Translation. Well, from the title you could see it as a metaphor, lost in translation, because AQ is primarily raps in English. It raps in English, while Kabex raps in Yoruba, which is indigenous language. So you can get lost in translation listening to both of them. But without further ado, we'll check out the song and we'll see how these guys do it on Lost in Translation, guys. So guys, let's go. I love the jazz tempo on this particular beat. Okay, let's go.
Go. Unleash the power from within for ours that's listening. The lessons of an L is more powerful than the wind. My eyes again.
The lessons of the L is more powerful than the wind. Unleash the what?
From within for ours that's listening.
Unleash the power from within for hours just listening. The
lessons of an L is more powerful than the wind. My eyes are
The lessons of the L is more powerful than the wind.
getting slim. The flowers are bringing in is how the shivering every time I get it in. Like change the soundscape and get a pound cake.
Change the soundscape and get the pound cake. Change the soundscape and get the pound cake. Like, this is what is happening now, where people have to change their sound and how they sound just for the money. You know, you see a lot of rappers, especially Nigerian rappers, changing how they sound, trying to commercialize their sound so that the markets can find their song more aesthetically appealing and buy into their music. So it's one of the things that we have seen in the shift of culture in 2025, where people try to change how they sound for more commercial success. So AQ is addressing that. Let's go.
To get ahead this age, you need a cloud chase. What I found.
To get ahead this age, you need to cloud chase. Another fact there, because the truth is that the internet is looking for the person that stands out. In fact, you see the most people being talked about are people that are not the ordinary type of people that are not normal. You have to kind of like cloud chase in a way. You don't have to be controversial, but you have to cloud chase, you know. Either you're calling somebody out, either you are just doing something different that will bring attention and eyes to you. You have to cloud chase. So let's go.
The soundscape and get a pound cake. To get ahead this age, you need a cloud chase. What I found grace, I bet the ground shake. Try to violate, you get a clown face. Lessons.
But I found grace and made the ground shake. You try to violate, you get a clown face. So he's telling you that this, despite the whole thing and the fact that people are losing their morals and people are changing, a shift in culture in trying to stand out and be different, he has stuck to his truth and he has found grace and still has made the ground shake, which means that he has made an impact regardless of the situation and the norm in today's society. That what AQ is saying there. Say you try to violate, you get a clown face. Don't try to mess with me, because I'm going to give you a punch and I'll design your face. Of course, you get a clown face, you get punched, swollen face, bruises on your face. Redesigned face is actually a clown face, because your face will begin to look funny, and when your face is looked funny, of course you don't collect. And that's what you're just saying there. So that's AQ talking, and he's talking. Let's go.
What I found grace, I bet the ground shake. Try to violate, you get a clown face. Blessings is ours for those that wrestle with God. For those that threaten our cause, we wish death upon y'all. Can't reject the cornerstone.
Hopelessness is the ones that, for those that wrestle with God, he wished death upon them. I need to take it back a bit. No, let's get that.
Found grace, I bet the ground shake. Try to violate, you get a clown face. Blessings is ours for those that wrestle with God. For those that threaten our cause, we wish death upon y'all. Can't
For those that threaten our cause, we wish death upon you all. So anybody that is against their cause, against their vision, he wishes death upon them. That's a very harsh statement, but you know, hip hop could be brutal. It's like that. And AQ is one of the person that doesn't filter his words. And next saying it as they feel them for your heart. That's AQ, very hardcore guy. Very, you know, these are old school rappers. Them, I don't know. Should I call AQ old school? He's an OG rapper. It's not. I will not call him old school, but he's an OG rapper. AQ, I got to know AQ in like 2010, 2010. That's when I got to know AQ. And it was from a song where Vector dissed Reminisce, Distractions 2. That was the song I got to know AQ from. A song where Vector dissed Reminisce, and he featured AQ. So you can imagine, for someone that has been doing this in over 3 decades, is in that era of brutal lyrics, and this is one of the things that AQ can do. So he just said it as he feels in his heart, you know. But let's go.
Reject the cornerstone when destiny calls, and the man in the mirror is my reflection, of course.
The cornerstone when destiny calls. And the man in the mirror is his reflection, of course. So he's just saying that he is a reflection of himself. He's as truthful to himself as he is. You know, that he's saying there is a very basic line, but just saying that he's as real as it gets. Because there are a lot of people that the man in the mirror is a false identity. They are faking it. They know that that's not their real self. But he's saying that the man in the mirror is his reflection, of course. So he's really who he is. Who you see is who AQ is. That's what AQ is saying there. But let's take it back a bit.
Can't reject the cornerstone when destiny calls, and the man in the mirror.
Can't reject the cornerstone when destiny calls. The man in the mirror is his reflection, of course. So, of course, he's saying that they can't reject the cornerstone. You can't ignore the person that is doing the work when the vision is ahead, when there's a clear vision, when you are seeing that this is what it is, when the destiny has called that person. And the man in the mirror is his reflection, of course.
There's my reflection, of course.
Gas les chocs avant to wale nye te kola du fond. She this battle get hype, yek ba du go toti kola du fond. O she won wa kakti wa magneti won lion no. The air we took in the loss, it lo symbolize the lion no. So they no pride wa latin shock on fún gbogbo yin. Wọ́n ro party jẹ fún ẹ lọ mẹ́bà shock on fún gbogbo yin. Wọ́n bá wa ti ro sísìn wọn la fi ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀dì. The only flower tí mo like ni tọ́ ma fi ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀dì.
That line, the only flower tí mo like ni tọ́ ma fi ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀dì. Hope I didn't murder that Yoruba, but what he's just saying is that the flour he likes is the one that is used to make bread. You know, bread is made by flour, but I'm sure he referenced another flour there. So let's take it back a bit. Let's go.
Wọ́n bá wa ti ro sísìn wọn la fi ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀dì. The only flower tí mo like ni tọ́ ma fi ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀dì. À ń chase ghost àwọn wèrè ń chase BBN. Wọ́n chase clout àwọn ń chase owó ní CBN.
He says he's chasing goals while these guys, these fools are chasing BBLs. You know BBLs now, the Brazilian bots. He's chasing goals. He's chasing goals while people are chasing BBL. Then what else do you say there?
And chase ghost àwọn wèrè ń chase BBN. Wọ́n chase clout àwọn ń chase owó ní CBN.
They are chasing clout. We are chasing CBN money. That's what he's saying there. They're chasing clouds while we are chasing CBN money. So he's just telling them that our goals are different, our eyes to the prize are different. So we are literally moving on different waves. That's what he's saying here, Kabex. So I can understand a little bit of some things that he's saying in Yoruba here, but let's continue.
Justice is about power, not about fairness. Money teaches you awareness. Meet the parents, ignorance.
Justice is about power, not about fame, as money teaches you about appearance. Let's take it back a bit.
Justice is about power, not about fairness. Money teaches you awareness. Meet the parents, ignorance.
Justice is about power and not about fame, as money teaches you awareness. Ignorance is a parent. So you could see the strong lines that AQ is delivering on this one. Let's go.
It's about power, not about fairness. Money teaches you awareness. Meet the parents, ignorance is apparent. When your poverty stricken, it's like you're covered in shit. How to stay at your parents.
Ignorance is apparent when you're poverty stricken. It's like you're covered in shit. It's hard to stay in that appearance, or what do you say there? Let's take it back.
It's apparent when your poverty stricken. It's like you're covered in shit. How to stare at your parents.
Ignorance is apparent when you are covered in when you are poverty stricken. So what we're just saying there is that people that are poor have a limited mindset. It's obvious anywhere that you see poor people and people that have lack of resources, there's a limiting mindset that they have. That's what AQ is saying there. I kind of like 80% agree with him. I understand that there are some exceptions where people might just be in a phase of their life where they are lacking and their mindsets will make them rich. And in that case, because of their rich mindset, they are not categorized as poor. But you're just saying that ignorance is apparent when you are poverty stricken. So he said it is like you are covered in shit. It's hard to stare at that appearance. So people, it's hard to stare at that appearance when they are covered in poo. It's of course it's an ugly sight when someone is covered in poo. It's hard to stare at that appearance. So you're just saying that he's just using that metaphor to talk about people with limited mindsets when they are poor. And also the major line I took here is justice is about power, not about fame. It teaches you awareness. That's what he's just saying there, because of course, if you get justice, it's about you showing that you are capable of getting the truth. It's about you showing that you yourself, you are not useless. You have a strength to a certain extent. So let's take it back a bit and let's just let it rock.
It's about power, not about fairness. Money teaches you awareness. Meet the parents, ignorance is
as money teaches you awareness.
Parents, when your poverty stricken, it's like you're covered in shit. How to stare at your parents. 2024, this ain't no grief for anybody. Them grief for they go and complain, they living poorly.
2024, they say no grief for anybody, then they grieve for Tinubu and they complain they are living poorly. Isn't that the truth? In 2024, we started the year with a very big ginger that we are not agreeing for anybody. We're not agreeing for anybody. We understand that the elections took place in 2023, but we couldn't in 2024. You could see what happened at the elections, at the protests. They arrested people. So we say we are not agreeing for anybody. And Tinubu, it was Tinubu's regime, or it's still Tinubu's regime, and things are still as bad as they are. And the government is still controlling the terms of how people are living their lives. So we don't agree for anybody, but we are still in the same situation that with ginger that we wanted to get out of. So AQ is just keeping it as real as it gets. So let's continue though.
2025, everybody keeping quiet. Boys are cutting heads for science. OS is running quiet to the back.
2025, people are cutting heads for science. SOS is keeping quiet. Isn't that the irony of things? SOS is emergency, is alarm, but the alarm is quiet in the background. So people are not even shouting anymore. Like it's showing that the country is at a danger. And right, of course, when there's danger, there's supposed to be noise. There's supposed to be alert. There's supposed to be a cry for help. But it's saying that the cry for help is quiet. You understand? People have gone into different things. Morals are being broken. Principles are now off the window. And people are doing what they like. They said that violence is on the rise. Ritualism, kidnapping, these are the things that are prominent in 2025. And the country is in danger. It could still happen in Benue State. People are in Benue State. The country is in danger, but yet SOS is quiet. The media was quiet about it until VDM had to say something about it. So AQ is just keeping it as real as it gets. This is the new reality in Nigeria. This is what is happening. And when people are supposed to be loud and shouting for help, the system has kind of covered it up and they've made people quiet. So, of course, the danger is not being known. So AQ is addressing these things here. So let's continue.
Money for hand, back for ground. Body moving mileage, young boys becoming violent.
Wait, let's take it back a bit. So there's a wordplay there that we missed.
2025, everybody keeping quiet. Boys are cutting heads for science. OS is running quiet to the background. Money for hand, back for ground. Body moving mileage, young boys becoming violent.
SOS is keeping quiet in the background. Then it said money for hand, back for ground. What it meant by money for hand, back for ground. As he talked about SOS, it also talked about it's also like a reference to OS like Olushos, they are keeping quiet and money for hand, back for ground. Of course, Olushos, when you give them money, they'll allow you to do what you want to do with them. So you're just also referencing that there. So it's like a wordplay, but also referencing how situations of things have changed in the country. So let's go.
2025, everybody keeping quiet. Boys are cutting heads for science. OS is running quiet in the background. Money for hand, back for ground. Body moving mileage, young boys becoming violent.
Body moving mileage and young boys becoming violent. So it's touching on the whole sex for transaction. OS people. Right now, we see a lot of ladies in that space where they are trading their bodies for money, either by starting an OF or actually sleeping with different men. It's prominent now because everybody's looking for money. And he's saying it here that body is moving mileage because these people are having in big numbers, ladies are having sex with people in big numbers. So that transactional sex is prominent. And also guys are getting violence and even indulging in things that they are not supposed to indulge in because of the situation of things. So man, the whole principles and the morals of Nigeria at this time is lost in translation, and that's what the message is about. Let's go.
Dancers amplifying like some lighting speakers. How they sell their bodies for the price of a Nike sneakers. I'm like,
take it back.
Background, money for hand, back for ground. Body moving mileage, young boys becoming violent. Influencers amplifying like some lighting speakers. How they sell their bodies for the price of a Nike sneakers. I'm like,
I have to let it complete. He said influencers amplifying like some lightning speakers. They are shouting. Influencers are amplifying. They are shouting about how to sell their bodies like some Nike sneakers. The metaphor there, amplifying like some speakers, because speakers literally amplify your sound. They amplify music. So they are shouting, they're amplifying the voice of how they are treating their bodies like Nike sneakers, because trading their bodies online like Nike sneakers, because of course you can order some Nike boots online, and this is what influencers are doing. So AQ is just laying it on the table and making it as real as it gets. So let's continue though.
Nowadays I buy Adidas. It's crazy what's happening in these arenas.
You can see it after talking about Nike sneakers, and I said nowadays I buy Adidas. That's linking the brand stuff, even though he used it in a metaphor to start another thing. But nowadays I buy Adidas. Nike sneakers, but I buy Adidas. Let's go. Let's take it back a bit and see how we enter.
I'm like, nowadays I buy Adidas. It's crazy what's happening in these arenas.
Ikoko ni won won yato si ayina speech láyé la ṣe ń kó bá so for fucking with hyenas. Olówó ló ní power, idea wo ni poor man ní. Foundation ti ní problem, idea wo ni poor man ní. 2024 wọ́n ní ká má gbafẹ́ nìkan, máa wá kára mi pẹ̀lú pride kódà tó bá gbafẹ́ nìkan.
Love the rhyme scheme from Kabex, even if I don't understand what he's saying for the most part, but I love the rhyme scheme from him.
2025 igara chicken ti lọlẹ̀, portable wa di problem igara chicken ti lọlẹ̀. Operating software wa dolóṣó mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́, money for dog ní akọni wa dolójó mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. This is
okay, operating software, OS, Olosho, operating software. Then he talked about whatever sex and everything. He's also referencing the whole transactional sex thing. So AQ.
It's outrageous. The nerve to even put me in conversations. Your love validation, I'm coming for reparations. Talk about numbers when family made you famous.
Agriculture.
Talk about numbers when family made you famous. I love the synergy between AQ and Kabex, because they are linking their rhymes. You could see when AQ ended with Adidas arenas, Kabex started with hyenas. The rhyme scheme, linking the rhyme scheme, flowing together, and their synergy is just crazy, man. Their synergy is crazy. And now AQ ended with farming, talking about how people are bragging about their numbers when what made them famous is farming, is extreme farming. You understand? So literally most of the numbers they have are fake. So but they are bragging with it that we have numbers, but the numbers they got was through illegal means or through questionable means. But you could see Kabex starting with agriculture, also talking about referencing farming. So let's take it back a bit.
Outrageous, the nerve to even put me in conversations. Your love validation, I'm coming for reparations. Talk about numbers when family made you famous.
Agriculture rappers, you got nothing on weed. Better go clear your bush, cause you ain't got nothing on weed.
Agriculture rappers, you got nothing on weed. Go and declare something because you got nothing on weed. I like the reference. Let's go.
Agriculture rappers, you got nothing on weed. Better go clear your bush, cause you ain't got nothing on weed.
Better go declare your bush. Go and declare your bush because you got nothing on weed. Weed, bush, of course. Talking also, it did like this, so you know that the weed is talking about is also. But let's go.
Agriculture rappers, you got nothing on weed. Better go clear your bush, cause you ain't got nothing on weed. On sort of purchase the money like the bag is different. I'm mapping the you chase that demon, so the brag is different.
Get out the label, put out the track, let's see how you move. Cut the umbilical from the navel, but they wanna prove.
Get out the label and let's see how you move. Cut the umbilical from the navel because you want to prove. He's telling us a story here of what is happening. Let's go.
Label, put out a track, let's see how you move. Cut the umbilical from the navel, but they wanna prove. Can't touch a diamond till them guys recoup. The dotted lines inside has to be some type of views. You like.
So, I think he's talking about people leaving their record labels, really. He said, touch the umbilical from the navel because you want to prove. Remember that the umbilical is what you use to pass food to the baby, you know. And also when you say cut the umbilical from the navel, it's like people losing ties with their label because they are feeling too big and they want to just lose ties and stand on their own. But they end up saying that it's not the same. It's not easy to stand on your own without a label. So let's take it back a bit.
Out the label, put out a track, let's see how you move. Cut the umbilical from the navel, but they wanna prove. Can't touch a diamond till them guys recoup. The dotted lines inside has to be some type of views. You lack the views, the foresight to make you choose. Spend a day in my shoes, should be on pay-per-view. That's a non-stop thriller. I'm only on contract as a contract killer. Check your contacts and call the coroners. Kept it
I love the switch of flow. I love it. Let's go back.
Contract as a contract killer. Check your contacts and call the coroners. Kept it compact for my job and foreigners. Flow like I got some blood thinners. It's been clogging my veins. Was born a Bunsen.
All right, I love the song and I like this one. The song in itself, the title is a double entendre to the meaning of the song. The meaning of the song is people have lost their purpose of life. People have lost their morals. People are lost in translation in their life right now. And it's within the context of Nigeria and Nigerians and their priorities at the moment. So the Nigerian people are literally lost in translation. And that's what the song is saying. But also the double here is the fact that one raps in English, the other raps in Yoruba, which means that the listener might lose the message in translation because, of course, one is in English and one is in Yoruba. But regardless of it, the message is clear. Stick to your principles and try to not lose the vision because of your circumstances or what you are going through at the moment. Anyway, with that being said, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. I'll go by the name is Coach Prince and I'll see you guys on the next one. And with that being said, my people, peace.